say hello to. I am so grateful to all of you for taking the time to be here. I have been running for president for a little over a year now. I love you back. I've been running for president for a little over a year. I stood on the steps of the old state capitol in Springfield, Illinois, and announced this unlikely journey for change. And I have to say at the time, some people ask, why are you running now? Why are you running so soon? You're a relatively young man, you can afford to wait. And what I said was that I am not running because of some long-held ambition. I'm not running because I think it's somehow owed to me. I am running because of what Dr. King called the fierce urgency of now. Because I believe there's such a thing as being too late. And that hour is almost upon us. We are at a defining moment, Dallas, in our history. Our nation is at war. Our planet is in peril. And the dream that so many generations fought for feels like it's slowly slipping away. And you see it in your own lives. Everywhere I go, you talk to people, they're working harder just to get by. They've never paid more for gas at the pump, never paid more for electricity, never paid more for a college education. It is harder to save and it's harder to retire. Our healthcare system leaves 47 million people without health insurance. And if you've got health insurance, you see your co-payments and your deductibles and your premiums going up and up and up. Our education system, despite the slogans, leaves millions of children behind. They drop out, they're unable to read, unable to compete in an international economy. So in such circumstances, we can't afford to wait. We can't wait to fix our schools. We cannot wait to fix our healthcare system. We cannot wait to bring an end to global warming. We can't wait to put people back to work in good jobs and pay a decent wage. We cannot wait to bring this war in Iraq to an end. We cannot wait. We cannot wait. And I believe that the American people were ready for a different kind of politics. That wasn't about tearing each other down, but was about lifting the country up. And sometimes I meet disabled veterans and homeless veterans who ask me how it is that the country could have forgotten their service. And sometimes I meet mothers like the one who gave me this bracelet that I'm wearing, commemorating a son who died in a roadside bomb at the age of 20. So we've got big challenges. And when I tell people, when they ask me, what are you going to do, I say, I am confident in my ability to lead this country in a different direction. I wouldn't be running if I wasn't. And what I also tell them is that I can't do it by myself. A change in America doesn't happen. Remember what I said, from the top down, it happens from the bottom up. You've got to want change. You've got to be willing to work for change. You, the American people, have to fight for change. And if you're ready for change, we can have a new foreign policy in this country. You know, my job as Commander-in-Chief will be to keep you safe. And I will not hesitate to do what's required. I will not hesitate to strike against those who would do us harm. And that means maintaining the strongest military army, which means keep training our troops properly and equipping them properly and keeping them on proper rotations so that their families aren't overburdened. We'll provide the funding to help manufacturers convert to green technology and help workers learn the skills that they need for these jobs. So a clean energy future is good for our economy. It is good for jobs. It is good for the environment. It is good for our national security. We sent $1 billion to foreign nations, many of them hostile, because of our addiction to foreign oil. our fuel efficiency standards to 40 miles per gallon, we would save the equivalent of all the oil they poured for the Persian Gulf. We need to do that. And when I proposed it, I didn't do it for some environmental group. I went to Detroit, to the automakers, and I told them they had to change their ways. I told them, Toyota and Honda are running circles around you because you are not investing in the clean energy needs of the future. And I have to admit, when I spoke, the room was really quiet. Nobody clapped. But that's okay, because part of what you need for the next president is somebody who will not just tell you what they think you want to hear, but will tell you what you need to hear, will tell you the truth about how you're going to move America forward. Say that the war in Iraq was unwise. It was unwise. It cost us billions and soon to be trillions of dollars. Money that could have been invested in rebuilding roads and bridges and hospitals and schools right here in Texas, right here in America. More tragically, it's cost us thousands of lives. Strategically, it has distracted us from what should have been our number one goal, which is hunting down Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, hunting down Bin Laden, the ones who killed 3,000 Americans. America is back, and we are ready to lead. But we will not just lead. We will not just lead militarily. Yes, we're going to hunt down terrorists, but we're also going to lock down those nuclear weapons that could fall into the hands of terrorists. We're also going to lead on clean energy. We're also going to lead on helping countries deal with the devastation of HIV/AIDS. We're also going to lead in bringing an end to the genocide in our field. We will lead in civil rights and human rights and due process and close Guantanamo and restore habeas corpus and end renditions and torture. Because you'll have a president in me that has taught the Constitution and believes in the Constitution and will obey the Constitution of the United States of America. So I know how hard change is, and so do you. But I also know this, nothing in this world nothing in this country has ever happened that is worthwhile except somebody somewhere was willing to hope. Now that's how this country was founded. Those patriots declaring independence against the mighty British Empire, nobody gave them a chance. But they had hope. Come on. That's how slaves and abolitionists resisted that wicked system. And how a new president charted a course to ensure we would not remain half slave and half free. That's how the greatest generation defeated Hitler and fascism and was able to lift itself up out of the Great Depression. That's how immigrants have come to distant shores and built families and communities and a future for themselves. That's how pioneers settled the West. That's how women won the right to vote. That's how workers won the right to organize. That's how young people traveled south in the 60s. And some marched, and some serenaded, and some went to jail, and some were beaten, and some died for freedom's cause. That's what hope is, man. That's what hope is. That's the opportunity we have in this election. That's the opportunity we have in this election. That's what happens if you vote, if you are ready for change, if you work, if you mobilize. Now there's a moment in life of every generation where that spirit has to come through. This is our moment, and this is our time. And if you will stand with me and vote for me, we will win this from Texas, we will win this from the nation, we will win this from